Trust me, if there's any danger noodle that you don't want to fight, it's that one. Meet the boom slang. These nope ropes are native to Africa, and drop for drop, they have the most potent venom of any snake on the continent. You know, the same continent that has black mambas and gaboon vipers and cobras. The amount of venom needed for you to meet your maker is such a small amount that you can't see it with the naked eye. That much venom. Can you see that? Trick question, you can't. And the craziest part is their venom is a hemotoxin. That means it prevents your blood from clotting and causes hemorrhaging all through your body. In other words, that one drop will cause you to bleed from every hole on your body. Your eyes, your ears, other holes. And these symptoms could take hours to kick in, so you might think you're good until you're not good. That sounds like the plot of a horror movie. Happy Halloween. Moral of the story? Take the L, bro. That's not a fight you're gonna win. And all right, it's time we finally talk about the biggest menace in the animal kingdom. Meet the honey badger. It needs no introduction. It's basically a 30-pound bag of anger issues that belongs to the weasel family. They also belong to the Guinness Book of World Records as the most fearless animal on the planet. But that's obvious. I mean, they literally square up with lions. They also steal lions' food and then fight them to defend the stolen food. That's gangster. Oh, and it's not just lions. They've been known to attack and take down hyenas, African wild dogs, buffalo. But for them, that's light work. They come stocked with razor-sharp claws and a bite force that rivals a black bear. They could break open a tortoise's shell. They also have super thick, rubbery skin that's extremely hard to penetrate. That's how they're able to come out of situations like this unfazed. Oh, but it gets better. When they're not fighting animals 20 times their size, they're usually fighting venomous snakes. They'll eat black mambas and cobras. They'll even eat a wasp nest with the wasps in it. And even if they get bit, they're resistant to the venom, so they just sleep it off for a couple hours. And then they're coming back for a rematch. In other words, they're the living definition of anybody could catch these hands. There's birds of prey, and then there's that thing, which is in a class of its own. Meet the Philippine eagle. They stand 3 feet tall with a 7-foot wingspan. That's a big bird. In fact, it's actually the largest eagle in the world in terms of height and wing surface. But then again, what do you expect from a bird that goes by the nickname the monkey eater? They eat monkeys. They also eat other eagles, small mammals. They're truly an elite bird of prey. But to make it even better, they hunt in pairs. Basically, one of them will distract the prey while the other one swoops down and bye. And this is what they're grabbing them with. 3-inch talons and a 500-pound grip strength, which is 5 times stronger than a human. So why have people never heard of them if they're so dominant? Well, unfortunately, they are critically endangered with only about 400 left in the wild. It's actually the rarest bird of prey in the world. In other words, as crazy as this sounds, you'd be extremely lucky to see one in the wild. And if you have arachnophobia, you're gonna love this one. Meet the Goliath bird eater, the largest spider in the world. These bad boys are native to South America, and they get up to 12 inches long if you include the legs. That's a whole foot of spider. No thank you. Not to mention, their fangs are twice as long as a king cobra's fangs. Then again, I shouldn't be shocked. I mean, they're called bird eaters. They eat birds. They also eat frogs and rodents and snakes. They eat snakes. Basically, they have a lot of food on their menu. They're truly an elite spider. And that's before I tell you about their other secret weapon. You see, they got these little hairs on their underside, and those hairs are barbed. And when they feel threatened, they can kick their feet up and flick those hairs at you. For humans, it'll cause burning and itching, kind of like their own personal poison ivy. But other predators will sometimes take one to the eye and go blind. A gigantic spider with throwing knives. I've seen it all. I'm convinced somebody left a portal open and that thing crawled out. That is a lamprey. They're found in the Great Lakes, and it's basically like a fish-eel hybrid with a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth. And those teeth are not just for show. They're known as the vampires of the Great Lakes. You see, what they do is they use their teeth to latch onto their prey, kind of like a suction cup. And then they start drinking their blood. But when they bite into them, they also inject an enzyme that thins out the blood and prevents it from clotting, makes it flow faster. And they just drink until they're full, so the fish has to hope that they're not super hungry. What in the Stranger Things is that? If you look up its diet, it literally just says blood, like a true vampire. To make it even worse, if a fish bites into it, it'll get a mouthful of toxic slime. That's its defense mechanism. Fish can't even defend themselves. Moral of the story, if you ever take a trip to the Great Lakes, I know this sounds weird, but watch out for vampires. Yes, that mouse was howling like a wolf. That's no ordinary mouse. Meet the grasshopper mouse, also known as the werewolf mouse. It's basically a fun-sized, fully carnivorous hunter. And they are hyper-aggressive, like anybody could catch those little hands. Anybody. Like they hunt other mice, tarantulas, giant centipedes, snakes. In what world does a mouse hunt a snake? They are built different. But their personal favorite is bark scorpions, which is the most dangerous scorpion in the US. Except for them, that's light work. First off, they have some immunity to most venom. But not only that, their body has the ability to convert the venom into painkillers. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a superpower. Oh, but the best part is after they win in battle, they literally howl like a wolf to claim their territory. That is no doubt the coolest mouse ever. Sorry, Mickey. And that... You do not need to help that dog. The dog's not the one in trouble. Meet the dingo. It's a fully carnivorous pack hunter that thrives in the dangers of Australia. Except they're not in danger. They are the danger. This is the top of Australia's food chain, a true apex predator. And they hunt just about anything they could sink their teeth into. Wombats, kangaroos, water buffalo. Help the dog. Not to mention, they also enjoy hunting in water. They can also climb trees. And get this, they can run 37 miles an hour for 3 miles. I just know they got an A+ in gym class. Not to mention, they actually use that stamina for hunting. Like sometimes they'll just chase an animal forever until it collapses from exhaustion. Either that or just one dingo will chase them. Straight back to the pack. I think I'm gonna start working on my cardio. Moral of the story, if you're gonna help anyone here, help that poor buffalo. Trust me, the last thing in this world that you want is to be there when they wake up. Meet the Asian giant hornet. They're only found in a couple parts of Asia and apparently the United States now, so that's fun. It's even more fun when you find out that they're the largest wasp in the world, even recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records. They have a 4-inch wingspan. Might as well be a bird. Not to mention, they also come stocked with some pretty serious attitude problems. All you have to do is breathe too close to their nest and they'll make you famous. But as crazy as this sounds, it's not us that has to worry about them. It's the honeybees. They eat honeybees, and they spend most of their time looking for beehives to eliminate them. And according to researchers, 50 hornets can wipe out a colony of 50,000 bees. That's 1,000 to 1. I don't even like them, but that's impressive. Moral of the story, nobody, not even the bees, want to deal with them. So put that lid down. Now I know this might sound crazy, but that little walking flower is one of the best hunters in the world. Meet the orchid mantis. Now the first thing you'll notice about them is the fact that they literally look like an orchid flower. Like identical. I can't even see the mantis. And for some creatures like pollinators that need the flowers to survive, that's a problem. Things like bees and flies and even hummingbirds fly straight up to them and they get yoinked. Oh, but it gets even better than that. You see, pollinators choose their flower by how attractive it is. And they know that. And they have the ability to change their color and their petal structure to make their self the most attractive flower of all. So these creatures literally choose the thing that's going to eat them over the actual flower. By 30%. They attract 30% more pollinators than actual flowers. Their food delivers itself. That's better than Uber Eats. Moral of the story, if you ever see an orchid flower, pay attention. It might be the master of the sky.
What you're currently seeing is a wasp emerging out of a dead cockroach.
That thing is the definition of a horror story. Just in time for Halloween. Meet the Dementor wasp. It's actually a newly discovered, extremely rare species of wasp, only found in Thailand. And yes, they get their name from the soul-sucking Dementor from Harry Potter, and for a good reason. Basically, what they do is they go and find a cockroach and sting it. And the venom will hijack the cockroach's mind and take control of their body. And it forces the mind-controlled cockroach to walk itself to the wasp nest. That is some super villain stuff, and that's just the beginning. Once in the nest, the wasp will lay one egg on the cockroach, and the larva from the egg will burrow inside the cockroach's body. And it starts eating the cockroach from the inside out. But it avoids all the vital organs, so the cockroach stays alive. Keeps it fresh until it's ready to emerge, and then they finish it off and eat their way out, like you saw in the opening clip. That is straight out of my nightmares. Moral of the story, if you're ever having a bad day, just remember, you could be a cockroach in Thailand.